Before we get started, guys, go over to my TikTok, Holding the Ball, same name as the YouTube channel. Go and follow me there. I'm going to the gather round this weekend, going to the Friday night, all day Saturday and all day Sunday, so I'm going to be posting some content on my TikTok before it makes the YouTube channel. So if you want to see some videos early, go over to my TikTok. It won't all be AFL related. It's probably going to be a bit of Adelaide stuff as well. But anyway, follow me there. Let's get to the footy tips. So last week I did all right. I got 7 out of 9. I think that's pretty decent. Got the Brisbane Lions at home. I figured they were pretty strong at home. That was a pretty good tip. Carlton, that was good. Crows at home against Freo. They were really electric to watch. Really loved it. Hopefully they can do it again this week, which we'll see in a minute. Tip Richmond, which I think most people probably would have, but I think I did say that this game could have gone either way, so yeah, not too surprised by that. St Kilda off to a great run, obviously beating up on teams that aren't going to be that great this year by the looks of it. I did tip the Swans at home. I thought they were going to break the voodoo, but they did not. Port Adelaide came back, and wow, what a finish by Ollie Florent. That could have been a totally different outcome, and I would have got that one right as well. Essendon over the Giants was fine, and probably the easiest tip, obviously, Melbourne over West Coast. So for this week I have gone Adelaide. I think they're a little bit more exciting. Carlton are obviously a very good team. I just don't think they perform very well at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide have the advantage. It's going to be a pretty big crowd. As far as I'm aware, this game is sold out quite a while ago. I think the Crows win this by about 16. This next one at Norwood Oval, it's a relatively small ground. I think it's got a capacity of about 15,000 people. Sorry, Bubs. Again, this is not going to be a game that I'm going to be watching. Freo versus Gold Coast. Not good. Freo win, I think, by about 20. The next one, I'm going to this game here at Adelaide Oval. Richmond versus Swans. Swans do play pretty well at Adelaide Oval. Not too bad. I think they're a lot stronger team. They lost against Port, which arguably they probably should have won. Richmond lost against Bulldogs, who I still don't rate that well. I think Sydney Swans will win by about 25. In the Adelaide Hills, we've got Brisbane Lions versus North Melbourne. I think North have done all right in the first 2 games. They lost their last 2. Brisbane Lions finally have gone loss, win. So could this be a loss against North Melbourne? I don't think so. I think Lachie Neale will play really well. He's an SA boy, and I think he will have a really good game this week. I think Brisbane Lions will win by about 36. Now, the next one, Adelaide Oval, I'll also be going to this game, Essendon versus Melbourne. I think Essendon will put up a pretty good fight, but I think Melbourne are just far too strong. I think Melbourne will win by about 18 points. Another one at Adelaide Oval, Saturday night, Port Adelaide versus Western Bulldogs. This one is a sellout crowd again. They reckon at least 50,000 people are going to come here. I'm a Crows fan going to a Port home game, technically. I mean, all the Adelaide Ovals are home games. Anyway, Port Adelaide versus Western Bulldogs. I think this will be a bit of a scrap because I do see both these teams, I mean, they are right next to each other on the ladder, but I see both these teams very similar. Both teams do seem to, at least now in the last week or two, they like to play on with the ball. So I think we'll see some fast movement. It's going to be wet, which probably favours the Dogs a little bit more, in my opinion. But I think Port Adelaide are obviously a very solid team at home. I think they're going to win by about 11 points in a low-scoring game. Sunday afternoon at Adelaide Oval, Geelong versus West Coast. What more could you want to not go to the footy? This one's going to be a totally one-sided affair. I know Geelong haven't been performing very well, but West Coast Eagles are absolutely hammered by injuries. I just don't see how they put up a fight against Geelong. Patrick Dangerfield obviously coming back to Adelaide Oval. He might get some boos if anyone actually turns up. I am probably going to make this one as early as I can. I might be the only one in the crowd booing Dangerfield. Look out for me on TV. I think Geelong will beat West Coast Eagles by about 45. I've gone against the grain here at Norwood Oval. I think Hawks will get the job done. Both teams are very close to the bottom of the ladder. I think GWS have a lot of downside. Hawthorn, I think, have a bit more upside. I think either way, this is a 50-50 game. I don't like the odds. I don't like GWS at $1.40. Not that I'm telling anyone to gamble on this, but I think Hawks are just a lot better. In my opinion, if both Warple and Newcombe can play well together, I think Hawthorn will win this. I think it's going to be tight, but I think Hawks will win this by about 10. And lastly, probably the most interesting game this whole round, in my opinion, is the unbeatable Saints so far. They're coming up against a very good side in Collingwood. Again, St Kilda probably haven't beaten the toughest competition in the league yet, but like Lordo said, there's probably not too many teams that are actually better than them at the moment. I think Collingwood definitely do have that potential. Collingwood love stealing games at Adelaide Oval, no pun intended there. They just have beaten my Crows at Adelaide Oval far too many times. Yes, I'm very salty, but I think Collingwood are far too strong for St Kilda here. I think Collingwood will win this by probably about 22 points. And that's it. Let's see how we go. And again, follow my TikTok. I'll be posting a whole round recap. The oddities are going to be a little bit different this week, only because I won't be watching the games on KO or on Fox Footy. I'll be at the ground watching some of them, so oddities will be quite a bit different this week, and yeah, see how we go. Follow me for more, and I'll see you over the weekend. Gather round, boys.